also for travel costs, and that's for master's students. And yeah, when you apply the tuition waiver or the Finland scholarship, it's very, very easy. So you just go to Study Info portal, and when you submit your application there to the program, you can also, there's one question where you just tick a box if you wish to apply for a tuition waiver or the Finland scholarship. About the timeline, so we are already now in October. So the main point here is that no matter where you wish to apply in Finland, you should take the English language test if that applies to you, and prepare the documents what you need for the application. In January, you must send your application via the National Study Info portal. And in Finland, we are very strict with the timetables. So when we have the application period, it's super important that you submit your application in that window. So the universities, they don't accept the applications which come after the final deadline. For masters at UEF, we publish the results via email in March. And then in summertime, you have time to accept the study place in Study Info. Then, of course, you must apply for a residence permit and student housing. There's opportunity to join the UEF summer school, which is optional for our degree students. And the academic year in Finland, that starts in the beginning of September. And then you can meet your student tutors and other students in your program. And of course, we have a great orientation for our new students. So our university, we are ranked among the world's finest universities. So we are globally within the best 2%. And UEF is also Finland's most multidisciplinary university, meaning that we offer close to 30 international degree programs. And we have close to 1,200 international degree students at our university. The application period is here. So that will start 4th of January and it will end 18th of January. I will stop this sharing just for a minute, and I will show you some slides about the living costs in Finland. So meaning that when you wish to apply for the tuition waiver, or sorry, the residence permit, what kind of amount of money you should have before you apply that. And just give me a minute, I will open those slides, but I can see that there are some questions probably in the chat, or are they comments? Let me see.
Yeah, I think there are comments for now.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can see one hand raised.
Okay.
Maxwell, do you have any question for Anna? Hello, Maxwell, can you hear us?
He was the one who was struggling with sound.
Okay, I think he's the one who was talking, he was complaining about the sound, and
okay,
it's already answered.
All right, then I will continue with the student housing and student life issues. There you go. So about the student life in Finland and at UEF. So first of all, there's new students.
Hello, Anna.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I can see some 2 hands raised. Okay. I don't know if they had questions that.
Yeah, maybe you could type the questions to the chat and I can check them after the presentation.
Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So those who have your hands raised, please keep them raised, or better still, you can type the questions in the chat and I will answer them after the presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So new students, I think every university has some kind of like orientation program at the beginning of each semester. And we have these local tutors who help our new students to settle down to our campus cities. And yeah, about life in Finland. So the Migris income requirement for our international students is 560 euros per month. So that is something what you should consider when you apply to Finland. Of course, if you receive a scholarship, that will be also counted as an income for the student. I have some price examples in Finland. So the students' housing, for example, that's 350 euros or a bit less in our campus cities. The student lunch at our campus restaurant, that's 2.6 euros. Big Mac meal, something like 11 euros. And then we offer great UF sports services for our new students. So those are 66 euros one academic year. They are also mentioned in this slide in dollars. So if it's easier to understand the price level in Finland, but in general, I would like to say that the Helsinki, the capital area in Finland, is more expensive than, for example, the eastern part of Finland, especially what comes to the student housing. Our university, we have 2 student housing companies in both of our campus cities. There is one, so Elli in Joensuu and Kuopas in Kuopio. In Finland, we don't usually offer this on-campus living, meaning that our international students, they stay in shared flats. So they have their own bedroom, and then they share a living room and a kitchen with other students. And usually the student houses are non-furnished. So when the students arrive to Finland, then they need to buy the equipments, but there are places where you can get them very reasonable price. Then something about the employability. This is something which is like very important topic to our international students and also our prospective students. So first, when we asked this from our alumni after 5 years from graduation, these were the main answers from them. So the main competencies needed at work. So the ability to learn new skills, English language skills, analytical and systematic thinking, stress tolerance, cooperation and networking skills. Then the skills to work with multi-professional groups and multiculturalism. So those were the answers from our graduates. And I'm glad to say that our university has a very great objective to work with these, especially with these competencies. So we offer, for example, studies in Finnish language and in Finnish culture for all our international degree students. So you can choose courses in Finnish language skills according to your skills level. So you don't have to know Finland or Finnish language at all. So it's also possible. There is also a possibility to start that from the beginner level. Then we have this UF trainee program, which is a stepping stone to Finnish working life. So these UF trainees, they work for 2 months full-time or 4 months part-time in placements provided by companies or organizations. They can be also research groups or administrative services. A salary is paid for UF trainees. So I'm not sure if you know this, but when you apply for a student residence permit, it is possible to work 30 hours in average per week. The call for this UF trainee program is once a year. So this part-time job is something which is often asked. And quite many of our international students, they do have part-time jobs beside their full-time studies. So it is possible to work, but we as a university, we can't guarantee that all our international students can get part-time job in our campus city. So, but in general, it is possible. Then I would like to say that after graduation, there is also a possibility to apply for a visa for the purpose that you are searching for a job in Finland. So that is also one option after the graduation. So yeah, many of our international students, when they decide to come to Finland, they wish to get some competitive advantage through the degree itself, meaning that they have the degree from higher education institution. And like I said, we have also a UF doctoral school, so quite many of our international students stay on board for doctoral studies. And the scholarships, what we offer, I just covered them shortly in that previous slide, but the tuition waiver, that's for all students outside of the European Union or the European Economic Area. Then we have that Finland scholarship for top academic students, and then some special scholarships like Erasmus Mundus scholarships in certain programs. And yeah, our university, this is like a high standard university and with high level research. And our university is especially interested about these solutions for global challenges. This photo is taken from the Kolli National Park, which is 70 kilometers from our Joensuu campus. And well, right now we have autumn in Finland, which means that outside we have close to 5 degrees right now, but in winter we usually have quite a lot of snow in our campus cities in Joensuu and Kuopio. And in this photo, these people, they are doing some snowshoeing in Kolli National Park. Like I mentioned, this is almost the same application period for all Finnish universities. Some of those might have some special application periods, but usually the application period for most of the programs is in January. So if you wish to apply to Finland or to UF, start to prepare your documents already now. We do have some student recruitment events, online events coming. So there is QR code for that. You can take a photo. So if you want to learn more about our university, you are most welcome to join these events too. And yeah, that was my presentation about University of Eastern Finland, and I shortly covered also the scholarships and said something about the residence permit. I could say something about the process itself. So usually when the students get the acceptance letter from the university, then they start to apply for a residence permit. And you might know that it can take several months to get the residence permit, meaning that you have to visit the local embassy to identify yourself. So if you get acceptance from any Finnish university, I highly recommend you to start the process already when you accept the study place. So immediately after that, so you will be ready to travel to Finland in the end of August or in the beginning of September. But yeah, that was my presentation. And let me see if we have any questions in the chat. So I can see that there is a question that do we have any PhD programs for engineering? Not right now at UEF. We will start to educate or teach engineering next year, but right now we don't have. Probably in the future, yes. Then there is a question for can someone apply for a bachelor or master's program in Finland with a 3-year diploma? I don't see the rest of the question, but usually if you for the bachelor's you need a secondary level education certificate, and for the master's you need to have the bachelor's degree, and then you are eligible to apply. Then there is a question for Rose. Do you have a master's in business administration or master's in finance? So we have a program in digital marketing and analytics, and a master's degree program in international business and sales. Do students from English-speaking countries need to write English tests? That depends on the program. So if there is a certain program you are interested in, I recommend you to visit the website and check the requirements, because some of our programs accept if you have conducted your bachelor's in English. About the doctoral program in education, we do have that. So UF Doctoral School, put that in Google and you can see the options for the doctoral studies. Agricultural technology program. Unfortunately, I don't think we have that one, and neither we have a master's degree program in psychology. We have a bachelor's degree program in social sciences, but not in master's level. We don't have masters in social work, at least not yet. Thank you. There is the link to our study programs UF website. You can check the programs what we offer from there. So they are listed there, like bachelor programs and master's degree programs. You can check them from there. There is a question about agent. So we do have agencies abroad. If you wish to know more about our agencies, I'm pleased to share their contact details. But I would like to say that it's also a possibility that you apply by yourself. So it's very easy to go to the study info portal and submit the application. And there is no application fee for Finnish universities, so you can apply for free. Of course, if you need to take the English language test, that is something which is usually, or it has a fee for the English language test, but the application form, what you submit, that is free of charge. And we don't have master's degree in music. We cover almost all the fields what you can imagine, but not music. psychology and pharmacy. So those we don't have, unfortunately. So there is one university in Finland, at least, or two universities where we have education in the field of arts. So all the university, they have quite many programs related to that. We have master's degree program in engineering starting 2024. So right now we offer masters in IT, for example. So if that is something what you can consider, check the UF website. And what else do I have here? Well, I could just shortly mention that if you are planning to apply to any Finnish universities, check the website and read the eligibility criteria very carefully. Finnish universities, they have like a very certain way how they handle the applications. So that is like my number one tip for you guys, that if you wish to apply to a university, check the website and check the criteria and also the attachments, what we need, and or the attachments, what we require. So it's very important that you attach, for example, the proof of your English language skills. If they ask motivation letter, you must have the letter, and so on. Then there is a question about online courses. So we do have two programs where you can study totally online. Those two programs are bachelor's degree program in social sciences and master's degree program in tourism and marketing management. The GPA came there. So we don't have, I know that some universities have that you should have a certain level of or certain score in GPA. We don't have that, but you can get some extra scores in some of our programs if you have a very good GPA. What else? Soil science, that one we don't have. Let me see any others I can see.
Yeah, I think some people also have their hand raised, so
yeah,
we could give them the opportunity to
ask
the question.
Sure.
Yeah, so I can see Sami Redeemer, you have your hand raised, and Benjamin. So if
hello, this is Benjamin.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 3 questions.
Okay, we are listening.
I wanted to find out whether they do offer PhD in information technology. That's the first one.
Okay.
And second one, a country like Ghana, our language of teaching is we use English to teach. But usually when you are applying to these international universities, they still request for these TOEFL and the others.
Okay.
Is proficiency in English certificate from the universities that we attended not enough to be used in place of these TOEFL and other things they require? Okay. And the third one is I applied to one of the universities in Finland, was last year, and another in Canada. And they were telling me my BSc was not too strong. But I am applying for a PhD. So I was hoping they would have looked at my master's, but not my BSc. So why were they looking at the BSc, but not my master's? I think these are the 3 questions I have.
Well, I don't think I can comment the last question. That is something what you must ask from the universities where you applied for. But in general, I would say that the language requirements, the programs decide what kind of language requirements they have for the program. That is the case at UEF. And I know that some of our programs accept that if you have conducted your studies, meaning the bachelor's in English, they accept that. But for example, for English language program, the language test result, what they require is a bit higher. So there are some like versatility between the programs for the language requirements. But most of our international students, they do the English language test. And why we ask that is that the teaching language is English, our international degree programs, and it's very important that all our students can follow the teaching in a certain academic level. So basically that is the reason for that. Then you had the question about the PhD. So we don't have a PhD in engineering at UEF. I know that there are some other universities where they have that option. We will have that in the future, but not right now.
Okay.
Okay, Ray.
Ray. A minute. With regards to the questions that he asked, I think the first question that he asked was about a PhD in IT. I think I have a friend who is here who did a PhD in IT here at University of Eastern Finland.
Yeah, IT yeah. We have.
Yeah.
IT we have. We don't have engineering. Sorry.
Yeah. So there's IT, PhD IT at University of Eastern Finland. And about your English proficiency, let me use myself as an example. I'm also from Ghana, just like you. I did my studies in Ghana. And when I was coming to University of Eastern Finland, of course, there are courses, as Anna said, that requires that you provide English proficiency tests. But I came to Wood Material Science, a material science department, and there was nothing like that. I just provided my English proficiency letter from University of Education, and that was it. So it depends on the program that you are coming in for. And that will determine whether you need English proficiency test or not. But based on my personal research about University of Eastern Finland, most of the pure natural science courses don't require English proficiency test. So that is my personal observation. But like she said, if you want to go into the humanities, then you can check on the website. And what I want to also add is that Finland is a very dynamic country, especially when it comes to their educational system. So some of the things that we may be telling you, there might have been changes. So the website that they are providing, in subsequent parts of this meeting, we are going to show you some of those things, especially with regards to, I saw one question about GPA. So the GPA is very crucial or important when it comes to the application for admissions at University of Eastern Finland, and of course, every university in Finland. But what is also crucial is about your motivational letter or your statement of purpose that you write. So they are not only looking at your GPA, but they're also looking at the content, what you have written to the professors or the admission committee in front who are going to assess your application. So we will also touch on that in subsequent meetings with regards to the motivational letter, what is supposed to be there and what is not supposed to be there. And with regards to your last question, I think, I don't know whether, Anna, you didn't hear about that one. Okay, you said you can't comment about that, about why the university didn't look at your master's, but then they were considering your bachelor's. Well, with my experience with other universities, because of this consultancy work, one thing that they look at is that we spend more time at the bachelor's level, and that is the foundation. So if you don't have a good bachelor's with the foundation of what you want to do in the PhD, countries like US and Canada can even admit you directly from bachelor's onto the PhD.
The PhD.
Yes. So if your bachelor's is not strong, some universities will not accept you. So they'll look at your bachelor's before. And I think it's the same applies to Finland, because when you're applying for PhD, you need to provide both your bachelor's and your master's transcript. So if they look and they check that your bachelor's certificate or your transcript is not strong, they can use that to disqualify you, because that is the basis for which you did your master's. I don't know whether if you answered, you are being answered.
Yes, and about the like your academic success in bachelor's level, that's of course important, but our university, we don't have like a certain like score what you must have, but of course that is important when you apply to our master's degree program. But we don't have a certain limit what you have to like you must have before that you are eligible to apply. So you can always apply to our master's if you have the bachelor's degree completed or you are a graduating student.
Okay, so I think we have other questions also. I can see Mark. Mark has raised a hand for a while. Mark, can you answer?
Yeah, my hand has been raised.
Okay, Sammy first. Yeah, Redeemer first before Mark.
Yeah. Are you getting me right? My question is, I would like to know whether the university offers a master's in pharmacy or pharmaceutical. That's my first concern.
Okay.
And then my second concern would be, for me, I'm doing my bachelor in China. So, and my course is being taught in English. So during the application process, will I be required to submit a letter of like attestation stating that I did my bachelor in English and it was taught in English at the university?
So the first question, at least at UEF, we don't have English or international degree program in pharmacy. And I'm not like 100% sure, but at least I have not heard that there are universities in Finland who offer that. But that is something I'm not like totally sure, but at least UEF, unfortunately, we don't have that. And what comes to the second question, I think the question was that when you apply, do you need like a certificate that you have conducted your studies in English? Am I right?
From a non-English speaking country.
Well, if you apply to UEF, that depends also about the program. So I could imagine that, for example, public health could be something which is interesting program for you. And for that program, I think you must take the English language test. So that is something what you should consider. So that depends on the program, and we can always check if you have like a certain program you are interested in and you are not sure what you should do. Student recruiting at uef.fi is the address for this type of questions, so we can check that from the program. So student recruiting at uf.fi. I can see that there are questions in the chat about the scholarships. So,
yes.
So what we offer in our own master's degree programs or bachelor's degree programs, the most common scholarship type is the tuition waiver, which is 50 to 70% of the tuition fee. So that is kind of like discount of the tuition fee. Then we have the Finland scholarship in our master's degree programs for 2 best applicants per program. And that covers first year's tuition fee, like 100% waiver for that, and 5,000 euros for living and travel costs. And we pay that after you have arrived in Finland, that 5,000 euros in one installment. And in addition to those, we have those special programs, for example, Erasmus Mundus programs, and their scholarships system is a bit different. So they offer part and full scholarship for the international students. And you apply these scholarships when you apply to the program.
Okay, I can see someone asking a question about, can I apply for multiple programs?
Yes, in that joint application period, you can apply to 6 programs in one application form. And it's also in that joint application where we are right now, you can apply different universities with that one form. So meaning that when you submit your application form, you need to choose which programs are the ones you are interested in. And let's say that you are interested in business, then you can apply with that same form in business program at UEF, at University of Tampere, and at the University of Oulu. So you can use the same, or Tampere is not there, but most of the Finnish universities are, but yeah, you can use the same application form for several universities and universities of applied sciences.
Yeah, so to add up to what Anna is saying, there are a lot of universities in Finland, a lot. And she cannot actually tell what some of the programs that other universities offer, but I know that for sure, University of Jyväskylä offers a lot of programs in line with education. And those who are from University of Education or University of Cape Coast in Ghana, you can consider looking at University of Jyväskylä because they offer most of the programs that you are asking in the chat. And I think they even have an MOU with University of Education, so it's easy to get through with that. So with the programs that you are asking, someone is still asking about language requirements. There is no language requirement for graduation in Finland. You don't need to learn and pass Finnish language before you graduate. You just go through your core modules, and that is it.
Yeah, you are right. So you can study Finnish language, for example, at UEF when you have a study place here, but there is no like final test in Finnish language before you graduate from the university.
Okay, I think that this question is answered. There's someone who was asking if it's compulsory that you pass Finnish exams. Another person too is asking, I think someone has raised a hand for a long time. Mark, are you there? Is Mark there? If you can hear us, please ask your question. Because like your hand has been raised for quite a long time. Or maybe it's an old hand. And does UEF offer masters in development or applied economics?
No, in the fields of business studies, we have international business, tourism, marketing and management, and then digital marketing and analytics. So 3 programs in that field. Okay, so
what's the name? Okay, so the person who's asking for development and applied economics, that will be your side. So you can check the UEF website, and I think you can get a course from there. And I can see another person to asking about management. I think Anna also mentioned your part as well, that the business field. You can also check the website, and you will get the related courses that you want. About the engineering programs, she stated that there are no engineering programs as of now. They only have masters that is upcoming. But then there are related programs. Like I told you, you can have materials, material science that has been modified now. And we have other programs as well. Those who ask questions about agric and soil science, you can have related programs like forestry and some other related programs. You can check from the website.
there's a chemistry question. So we do have programs in chemistry. We have a program in research chemist.
Yes.
So that is something, if that is something what you are interested in, check the uef.fi/study. So you can find all those programs from there.
Okay, so sorry, good morning. Please, my question is, I have completed high school in Ghana here, and then I wanted to continue out like overseas. So I want to ask if there will be like a suitable program for a science student like me. I wanted to read biomedical engineering or computer science. So I'm asking if your school offers some of these programs for international students, and then with the scholarship range, is it fully funded or partially, please?
So I think you mentioned that you have graduated from high school. So I think you're looking for a bachelor's level program. Am I right? So we do have bachelor's level program in information technology. That's 3 years. So that is something what I didn't mention. So the studies in bachelor's level, they are 3 years, and the master's, they are 2 years of full-time studies. But yeah, we do have bachelor's in information technology, and in that program, we offer the tuition waiver.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. I was asking if you offer biomedical engineering, science-related programs, please.
No, unfortunately, we don't have engineering programs yet. They will be 2024.
Oh, okay.
What is the name? Isn't Mark Rudd, right?
Mark.
Yeah, I think Anna has made it clear that applications in university applications in Finland is centralized. So we have all the universities in one pool or in one website that we call the study info. So you go there and you can apply to any of the schools. And she made it clear also that you can apply to multiple programs using the same form. So you can apply to University of Eastern Finland, University of Jyväskylä, University of Oulu, University of Tampere, University of Helsinki, and many more.
Yeah.
But you have to check the program.
Yeah, almost all Finnish universities are in this joint application period. Some of the universities might still have their separate application form, but almost all Finnish universities and universities of applied sciences are in this part of this first joint application period.
Okay. So you may ask her for a program that UEF doesn't offer, but another university offers. So you need to check that for yourself because she cannot know everything about the programs. I don't know whether your question is answered. And someone is asking a question about PhD in English language and PhD in language and literacy teaching.
Yeah, we do have UF doctoral school in the fields in the faculty of philosophy. So that is something what you can check from our website. I'm not specialized in PhD, so unfortunately I don't have a very good answer to that. But I can only say that we do have doctoral programs in the fields of philosophy. So please check the UF doctoral school.
Yes, and I wanted to hear from your side before. With that question about PhD, I have a friend who is offering a PhD in language literacy and teaching from UEF. So it's something that I can confirm to you in UEF. And like you said, it's in the educational and philosophy department. So it is something that you can consider applying. And it's interesting to know that PhD studies in Finland is regarded as a job. So mostly, or about 99% sure, is that for PhD scholars, you are not required to pay fees in Finland once you are through with it.
There is a question that if you have a master's degree in science, can you apply for a master's degree in science again? That depends. usually you can't apply exactly for the same program. So let's say that you have graduated from the master's, or you have the master's in international business. You can't apply for another degree in international business. But again, that depends a bit what is the program you already have completed, and what is the program where you wish to apply for. So then there is a question, public health.
Last week,
so public health and work opportunities. So there are some work opportunities also in the fields of public health, and in fact that is one of our most popular programs among the international programs what we offer at UEF. And well, the UEF trainee program, what we offer, we have, for example, work placements in the fields of public health. So that is, if that is something you are interested in, you are most welcome to apply to the public health program for sure. And how you apply the scholarships, when you submit your application via the study info portal, there is one question where you say that if you wish to apply for the tuition waiver or the Finland scholarship. So it's very easy to apply those. Yeah, I think we have covered almost all the questions.
Yes.
So far.
Yeah, I think there's another question that just came in.
Certificate holder in nursing, that depends what kind of certificate is that. So if that is a bachelor's level degree, then you can, apply for most of our programs. So it's very hard to say. I don't know what kind of certificate you have in that field. Joint program is the application period for those. That depends on the program. So these joint degree programs are the special programs. That means that, for example, those joint degree programs, you might do 1 year at UEF, and second year of studies can be some other university abroad. So if you have that certain joint degree program in your mind, check the website.
Good. I think there are still some questions coming in, but we are running out of time, and we'll only take the last 3, and we'll stop the question and answers. I think someone is asking a question about, do you have masters in project management, social work, community development, or planning? Please, we have answered this question severally. There are a lot of universities in Finland, and now she cannot tell you all the programs that all the universities offer in Finland, but she can only tell you about the programs that University of Eastern Finland offers. And so with that one, you can check from the website. So this answer goes to all of us who have special questions with regard to courses. And after this meeting, if you have any other questions as well, you can send me an email before the meeting comes to an end. We'll provide an email. If you have questions, you can send them to me if you don't want to send them to them, and we'll try to answer them one by one. And but I see someone asking, okay, a degree in public health. I'm not sure, but I know of a master's program in public health.
Yes, that's right. Master's level program in public health. That one we offer, and it's very popular program at UEF.
Okay. Okay. I was thinking that, all right. Okay, so we would like to thank Anna so much for her time, and out of her busy schedules, she managed to make it up to us, and we are so grateful to have you, and we thank you for the enlightenment and the very resourceful slides that you shared with us, and we are hoping that I saw some people asking questions about the application section. And for my idea, I always know that the application section starts from November and ends in maybe middle of January. I don't know if it has changed, but this year I saw that what you presented was from January to the first week of January.
Yes, there is application period. The joint application period, it's open only for 2 weeks. So that's a busy schedule. So if you wish to apply, it's very important that you check your documents before the application period will start. So, but thank you, Raymond, for organizing this meeting. It was lovely to meet you, and I wish to get a lot of applications from you. And of course, if you have any questions, like very specific questions, our admission service will be pleased to help you with those questions. I have guests coming from UK soon to our Kuopio campus, so that will be my next task. But thank you, Raymond, for organizing this.
Yeah, we are so glad to have you, and we hope that I know that admissions will be out in the first week of April. Am I right?
The results.
Yes.
In the masters, we will publish them in March.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are hoping to have another conference for students that will have admissions and scholarships, and they will be preparing for resident permit acquisitions. Because of course, we have a lot of students in this conference from Asia. We have people from Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana, Uganda, I think Tanzania as well. And we have different situations with regards to visa applications and embassy issues. For example, from Ghana, there is no Finnish embassy in Ghana. So we are planning to have another conference with regards to students that will gain admission and trying to find their way into the resident permit acquisition. So when the time is about due, that should be around June, July. I'll send you an email, and if there is time, you can share more information with us. So we are happy to have you, and thank you so much for.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Bye. All right. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we are good to go. So like I said, I had some questions that people were asking. I heard someone was asking questions about agents. For Finland, they don't usually apply through agents. People do consultancy, like a company that I'll be sharing with you after this in the course of this meeting, that you can apply through them. And like she said, in previous years, applications were given some time, like from November to December. But as she just shared with us, this year is not going to be like that. It's going to be between first week of January and second week of January. So that means that if you want to apply for admission in Finland for 2023 admission section, then you should get all your application documents ready. Before this meeting comes to an end, we will share with you some tips about the documents that you will need for the application to admission, either for bachelor's, master's, or PhD in Finland, and not only in Finland, Europe, America, Asia, and across the globe. So stay tuned. Next on our program, we have another speaker. And just a minute. Yes, so we have a motivational speech by Ezekiel Kuoga. I don't know if I got the name right. So he will be talking to us about how to get inspired and to pursue your dreams and to make sure you never fail. So with a round of applause, can we put our hands together as we welcome Ezekiel, the CEO of QPR Community Network in Finland. You're welcome, sir.
Yes, thank you everyone for being here, but mostly thank you so much to Pastor Raymond for this wonderful program that he has organized. It's such an honor also to be able to share with you today on the thoughts or lessons that I've acquired along the path of life. Just as he has said, this is more of a philosophical speech, as all know that these things you may not, or you may never be even taught in class, even by your parents or your friends, because someone has to know them before you're told, but they are not in the systems. But more importantly, very important stuff that you need to consider you make your journey to come, because most of us, they may come to Finland, any places in the world, be it a scholarship, we want to pursue life financially. We want to, we want to get in a better situation financially. So before we proceed, today I think I will take you a little bit back, and I will not use the PowerPoint presentation. I think I would prefer to go old school. Please let me know in case you cannot see properly. The writing will be on the two main misconceptions about money and how to overcome them in order to have a financially independent life, especially for us who are coming abroad to study. So maybe by giving you a short story. In case any of you cannot hear me, please, you can text. You can text, or you can say, you can unmute your microphone and tell me. So before I came to Finland, I graduated my bachelor's degree out of the from Tanzania, and immediately after I graduated, then I was fortunate enough to get a job from one of the telecommunication company, but unfortunately, the engineering stuff, I graduated from engineering school, so engineering jobs start with some where you would not be paid a very good salary. So for my case, in Tanzania, we use Tanzanian shillings. So in Tanzanian shillings, I was being around 500,000 T shillings. Now, that is very big, but this is equivalent to around 230 euros, more or less. So this is much that I used to get paid. It wasn't part. And you ask for more payment, then the boss will tell you there are people waiting outside of the door, needing your position with much less pay. So you either shut up and do the job, or you can go outside and let others do the work. And not the point of this discussion. The point is, soon after, I think after 6 months, then I received this also scholarship information from the University of Eastern Finland, and it was in photonics. I did my master's degree in Finland as well in photonics. What mostly excited me about this scholarship, it was the 500 euro money that they were paying us as the accommodation, just to accommodate our life. So if you'd convert this, it's almost 2 times compared to what I used to get in my job. So I really got now myself getting rich by getting this 500 immediately after I came to Finland. And to my surprise, after reaching and spend few days, few months, then I 500 euros was too little to spend on anything. Too little, as you have seen from the presentation which Anna gave, rent itself, it's around 300 euros. So you're remaining only 200 now. Food, transport, everything else has to come from this 200 euros. Then it was never enough. And one time we were discussing with one of my very best friends in that time. Then we came to realize one of the PhD by then, she was 2,000. Then I said, oh my God, this is not enough. I need to get that 2,000 so that at least I can be satisfied. A few years after I graduated in 2018, I managed to get a job where I got 1,000 euros 100. And it's like, okay, now maybe I'm winning. But after a few, sound is bad. Yeah. Maybe I need to borrow your. You can unmute me.
Okay, so those can you all hear him clearly, please?
Yes.
Okay, someone says he can hear you clearly.
Okay, maybe I need to.
No, I can't hear him clearly.
Yeah. I think I will need to borrow from Raymond.
It's not clear.
Thank you for notifying me. Maybe can you hear me now? Maybe I need to listen. Can you hear me now? I'm using Raymond's microphone.
Yes, it's better at my end.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Where did I stop, please? Somebody help me. Okay, then perhaps I can start again from that story very quickly. I mentioned that before I came to Finland, I was doing this.
You were talking about now that you are working and you are taking $2,000.
Okay.
Can they hear you now?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think your own, they were saying that they could even hear you.
Yes. Okay. So we came to realize one of our friends was taking 2,000 euros. So we realized that we are getting 500 euros and our friend is getting 2,000 euros. So she's getting too much. If we get this much, then we can also have now a rich life. We can invest some, we can do various stuff. But to our surprise, few months after I graduated from the master's program, then I was fortunate to get a job where I was getting paid 2,000 euros and 500. Few months after I started this job, then I came again to realize this money was never enough again. So I worked, got another job, and then I proceeded to almost getting 4,000 euros from 2 jobs. I relaxed for a couple of months, and then after that, it was not enough again. And this, I think you can all agree with me, it has been happening to many people. You strive to get more income, but soon after you get that income, a problem comes. And this is why I want to discuss with you where is this misconception about money is coming from. Because all of us, we are believing that the more money you get should solve your problem, which is what it's supposed to be, but it doesn't always happen that way. So the two most misconceptions that I think, number one is because everyone normally tends to, for example, let's make this is the time and you are here. So we normally tend to calculate the future income, like you are looking, for example, I was looking at the 500 euros before I came to Finland and I was getting 270 euros, say after converted. So I was looking at this income, future income, but using my present expenses. So normally when you do this, you would see yourself getting a lot of money in that future. because you are only using your current expenses. Now you are renting a room which you are paying 50 euros per month, and then you compare 500 euros against the 50 euros. You realize you have so much money to spend. And by having that kind of thought, it's easy for you to start opening a door for many potential expenses. This is when you will see a telephone and plan to buy it. You'll plan to buy many clothes. You'll plan the trips. All of those, depending on this, like the moment you get it, you start spending the money. So this is one of the very misconceptions, that you plan the future income basing on the present expenses. But it should be, you plan your future income basing on the future expenses. But many people don't do that. But the second misconception is normally after, now this is when you have already got your income, okay? You have already got your income, 500 euros, and our expenses are also here. But what happens is that as you start to spend this 500 euros, let's call this a principal. Okay, I will not finish, but let's call this a principal money. For those who have done accounting, maybe if there are any, then they should understand I'm using that term principal. So what happens that when you go to buy a TV, you normally compare against the 500 euros. For example, you find the TV is being sold for 400 euros. So on credit, you will compare, okay, if it's 400 euros and I pay only 18 euros per month, and I'm getting 500 euros, is it much? No, it's not much. You're taking it. And then the next day, you come to realize there are very nice, I don't know what, like a clothes, or let's say a car. You are taking a car, 2,000 euros. And they are saying, oh, we are only charging 150 euros per month. Again, you will compare this to your principal. But forgetting, there is already an amount which is supposed to be deducted from the principal. Again, let's say you go for another item. What could it be? Let's say you want to buy a washing machine. Washing machine is being sold, let's say, for 800 euros, and they can only charge you, let's say, 30 euros per month. Again, you take this 30 euros per month, you compare to the principal. So like, oh, I'm getting 500 euros. It's only 30 euros, so no problem. So it happens, you can have a lot of stuff to buy because you have an imagination that you have too much money. And then at the end of the day, the bills, they are so much against this 500 euros. It's never enough. Everything you get, you have to pay it outside. And this is apart from those normal mandatory bills. You have electricity bills. You have to pay, I don't know, sometimes you'll have to pay water bills. You'll have to pay hospital bills at some point when you get sick and stuff like that. Who among you have heard of the Murphy's Law? Anybody? Anyone has heard of Murphy's Law? Well, Murphy's Law is saying that always the income, always the expenses will tend to meet the income. And this is why when you get more money, you will always tend to upgrade. You will get a new apartment, you'll get new clothes, you will get even go to a new environment and stuff like that. But Murphy's Law is normally invisible, as I explained before. You compare the future income against the current expenses and think you will have more money, and that's how you adjust yourself to the new environment. And it's not a problem to adjust because, for example, you were dressing very poorly before you had any salary, but now you get any salary. Of course, you need to adjust. But the problem is exceeding that level that you're supposed to spend. So according to Murphy, he says always expenses will tend to meet the income. So now you are getting the income of 500 euros, your expenses must be around. If you're too careful, maybe they can go to 300 euros. And then when you jump to 2,000 euros, they will jump also maybe to 1,500 euros and so and so. But I think the reality is more than Murphy's Law. What happens is that I think only those people who can be defined as poor financially, they are the ones who are able to manage their finances well, because once you know you don't have the money, you will set your priorities straight. You will always set your priorities straight. Like somebody comes asking for money, you tell them, I don't have any money to give you. But the problem comes after you have started getting some money. We normally call these people middle income people. You know, now you have money, you're getting paid maybe 5,000 euros per month or even 10,000 euros per month. And the problem is after you know you have some money, this is when you start opening the door for more expenses to come on your way. And if you're not careful, as I explained before, on the second misconception, normally these people, they end up being in so much debt, you realize you have already purchased more than you can afford to pay back. Now, if you add with other personal bills, it becomes too much. So this is when someone has to decide to work for even 3 or 4 jobs in order to make sure he affords. And this is happening also to many of us who are living abroad. You are being forced to work for more than 3 jobs. Sometimes you get only 4 or 2 hours of sleep. It happens. But normally you get yourself locked in this system. For the rich people, I mean, it can also happen to them, but the good thing about many rich people, they normally have an income generating machine somewhere, which always tends to cancel the expenses. This is where they get saved. But for middle income people, most of the time we don't have any income generating places, which most of the time results to debts. So how can you avoid this? How can you avoid this? Okay, I will shift now to a presentation. I already prepared an article. I will do very briefly. I will present to you very briefly what do you need to do in order to avoid this misconception or mismanagement of money. And okay, I will present. Okay, the best way to avoid any possible problems which comes with mismanagement of money is always done through personal management of your money. So I will go quickly to tell you why do you need to manage money. Number one, you need to know to manage money because it can help you to afford the basic necessities of life. Now, what do I mean when I say the basic necessities of life? In life, there are always some important things that need you to spend money on them, and there are some other things which you can always avoid. Being a good manager will help you to prioritize as early before you get your money. But number two, management of money can always can somehow be circumvented. But number three, which is very important, managing your fund well will help you to get some fund, at least for starting up any business in case you want to start to. One of the, I think of the very good environment for starting a business is Finland. I don't know about other places, but the problem is always on the money. You have to ask for a loan, and then they have to ask you for a lot of papers. But if you manage to manage your fund well before, it becomes very easy for you to at least start, and then later maybe ask for more loan. But number four is participation in social activities. Most of the time, we are unable to participate in many social activities, include maybe church services. Also, we have our friend who is in problem or they get married. We need to support each other, but it's hard to support each other if we are not good managers of our fund. But with good management, you can always set aside some amount to support a friend. But another, okay, I already mentioned this. Now, maybe next is what methods I propose that you use from today to manage fund. Everybody is a good manager of fund if you can ask. They will tell you, when I receive my money, I make sure where my money goes. Of course, some people, they don't care. But the truest form of money management is managing it before it comes to your hand, deciding early where it goes. I don't know what's wrong with money, but normally whenever it touches your hand, people always tend to I don't know how to call it. They always tend to do things very crazily. You always try to change your plans and stuff like that. So it's good you make a plan before you get that money. And that money, when it comes, you just simply allocate it according to your plan. So for example, this is one of the plans which I propose, and I learned it from various books. You have to divide your money in form of a percentage formula. So for example, you can decide maybe 10% of every money you earn, you set it aside for business or investment. So it doesn't matter how much you get. So even if you get 500 euros, you decide 50 euros, I set it aside every month for business, even if you don't plan to start today or tomorrow, but maybe it could be in 5 years to come, it can help you. Then another 10% you set aside for religious offerings such as tithe. And then another 5% you can decide to set it aside for emergency activities. You need to decide as early that there is a saying which goes like, if anything can go wrong, then no, it will. So you need to also remember there are some emergency activities which need some funding. Otherwise, they will always leave you very, very broken. And then you can set another 5% for social engagement. You can decide this much of money, I will spend it to send to friends if he needs any support. I will send it for marriage or whatever. And then the remaining 70%, you can use them without limiting yourself. But you have to observe that you don't spend what you don't have in your bank. You have to avoid also buying on credit. Many money managers and the financial analysts, they discourage a lot buying stuff in credit, but I wonder why, because here in Europe, and I think especially in Finland, almost everything now is being sold on credit. And I think there are some other companies which are making a lot of money by selling on credit, because you always have to pay some interest rate on top of that. So they are making money, but it's really working against our principles of money in the way the money that can work on our best. I think I should not use most of the time. We only have a short time left. Maybe I should hand over the mic back to the moderator. In case of any question, maybe you can shoot them. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Can you all hear me, please?
Yes, please.
Yes, okay, please. That's perfect. Yes. So I don't know if someone has a question or you have anything to ask. We'll give just a few minutes, then we can move on to the next presentation. Does anybody have any question to ask? Okay. I would like to thank Mr. Ezekiel for this presentation. I know some of you will be wondering why we are talking about money and financial management when we were supposed to talk about study abroad. You will not understand until you travel. I know people who are also in other countries and coming here to study, like he said earlier on, you will definitely come here, and as Africans and as people from Africa, we travel because we want to study, and of course we want to also make money. And for example, a country like Finland, coming here to work and make money is not the issue, but how to keep the money and how to plan about this is a very big problem. And like you said, you can buy anything here on credit. I remember when I was going to buy my car, they were surprised that I wanted to pay cash because they said, why is it that I don't want to take it on credit? I should take it on credit and I'll be paying every month. And I said, no. So it is something that you need, because when you come here, you will work and you get the money. But how you are able to manage your finances is so crucial. That is why you have people who travel abroad and they've been there for years and they cannot do anything at home because there is no proper financial management. That is why it is so important, because we know that some of you in the next coming years, you have the opportunity to travel, to go and study, and after studies, you work. Either you are going to America, you are going to UK, you are coming to Finland or any European country. After the studies, you also have to work and you have to make money, even in the cost of the studies. For example, as a student here in Finland, you have about 30 hours to work. And when you work, you get the money. So how you are able to manage your funds and do your proper financial management is so crucial to your progress and your advancement in life. So we thank you so much. And I think he has made so many points that I think that you have to take notice of, that don't spend beyond what you have in your account. That when you come to Finland and you can go for a TV, you can go for home theater, you can go for a car, you can go for iPhone 14 Pro Max on credit. That doesn't mean that just be going for it. If you do that, you'll be working, and by the time you realize, every month they are bringing you bills and you cannot do nothing way back at home. So these are some of the things that you need to take notice of before you travel, because it will help you in the future. And I think that we have learned a lot. So stop buying on credit and buy within what you can afford. Don't take something on credit and you want them to be deducting every month. So we are moving on to our next presentation, which is going to be done by Mohammed. Mohammed is representing Dr. Ahmed, because Dr. Ahmed is busy with some other schedules. So Mohammed is representing Dr. Ahmed, and he is going to be talking to us about doing presentation on work and study abroad. And Mohammed is a PhD student at University of Eastern Finland. And as a PhD student, I have told you earlier on that PhD in Finland is regarded as a work. So those of us who want to come to Finland to come and do PhD, it is regarded as work. So there are no tuition fees for PhD students here in Finland. PhD studies here in Finland, there is no tuition. It's free of charge. And if you get funding, they'll also be paying you every month. So Mohammed is a PhD scholar at University of Eastern Finland at the Kuopio campus, and he is going to be doing our presentation on work and study abroad. So with a round of applause, shall we invite Mohammed as he does his presentation.
Thank you, Raymond. It's a great opportunity for me doing the presentation, and I think I will work without the video because I'm a little bit in tight position.
Okay.
Let me share my screen first.
Okay.
And so I have little bit presentation, and I believe most of the things Anna has described here, but I want to add few of the parts because some of the things Anna has skipped, and it is related to the African nations people, also the Asian peoples. That's why, as being an Asian and Bangladeshi, I want to add those things.
Okay.
And there are some prerequisites for higher study in Finland and Europe if you want to go higher study abroad. There is someone was asking about do I need IELTS or TOEFL? It's a difficult question, and there is a medium of instruction. In my country, we have studied our bachelor's in English, but here is difficult. In some department, they don't accept the medium of instruction. That's why I will suggest it's better you can take the IELTS exam, and your total band exam must be 6.5. And each subject, each part, it is not less than the 6. It is better because when you are going to apply for a joint application, you can apply for 4 to 6 subjects in different universities. At that moment, if you have IELTS, then it is possible to get chance in the more university. For an example, I also get chance in the Tampere University. but I chose the University of Eastern Finland. It is one of the fact that some university will accept your, it is the English medium of instruction as English, but I believe the most of the university won't accept that. So you have to look through the different universities when you're going through that. Then it comes for the motivation letter, and motivation letters is Anna already told about that. Now for the attachment and verification of the educational certificates. This is one of the crucial parts for us because most of our certificates are not accepted in this Finland. So we need to verify it. I will give you a description of that. And when you are applying, you should have reference. And this reference should come from your educational institute and from current job. Now, if you don't have any job, you can add referee through your educational institute. Now, when you are giving reference, it must be your tutor or your supervisor who has known to you. And when he is giving your reference or referee letter, that should come through the official email address. It should not come through the Gmail or Yahoo or Outlook email address. It should be official email address. For example, if you look my email address in here or also the Raymond's email address, you can see we are using the official email address @uaf.fi. It is an official email address. So if from the institute, it should become by official email address by the reference. You should have a driving license. It is recommended for any country. If you move to European country, it is easy to have a driving license from our country. In here, if you have to have a driving license, you have to admit into school and it costs around 1,200 euro. Then the exams fee extra. So it took around 2,000 to 3,000 euro to pass the driving exam. It's too much expensive. That's why I will suggest you should have a driving license. Later on, in European countries, you don't need any GRE exam. Only for the USA, you need GRE exam. And another important part, the WES conversation. In Europe, you don't need any WES conversation for your transcript. These are the things I just want to add it. Now let's look for the CV. This is another crucial part. And when you're applying to the European country, you should apply through the Europass CV format. And now let me take you the Europass CV website. This is the Europass CV website, europa.eu, and you can write it through your. Just a minute. Yeah. So you just write in here, Europass CV, and it will come to there. So it is the European CV format. If you want to create your CV, you have to use this website for your admission purpose, and they have a CV format. And let me check. So it is when you log into this website, you will get something like this. So this is the Europass CV website. Now let me show you my Europass CV, which will be more acceptable to you. So you can see this is my Europass CV. Imagine in here, I haven't attached my picture. So in the CV, you should not use any picture. And this is I have learned when I entered the Finland, and one of my supervisor told me that I should not use any kind of picture in the CV. And later on, somebody used the gender is something like that. You should not use it. Then you have to add your email address, phone number. If you have a Skype, then use it, then LinkedIn address. And also if you have a ResearchGate, and also the address. So these things you should add in your CV. Later on, this is the About Me section. It is about your whole CV summary. What are the experience or expertise you have? And you can write it within 250 words. to 500 words. But I will suggest if you write within the 250 words, it's much better. Now you can use your work experience. These things will become into the Europass CV format with the bullet format. You can easily add those things. And one more thing, when you're writing those things, you should use statistical part, just like I use 80% in their final exam. So if you use this statistical part, your CV becomes more good. Otherwise, if you use just describe what are the jobs you are doing, it doesn't make a stand out. So I have used those things. Lastly, you can also add your educational qualification, training like this, how many certificate courses you have done, how many organizational skill, and it also have the language capability skill. You don't need to add those things in this Europass CV format for the admission purpose. So here is another part. Somebody can ask, this is a reference part. You don't need to add the reference part for the admission. You already giving the reference to the email address, and you don't need to add those things in the CV. In this way, you can write a good CV in the Europass CV format. So when you're applying for the European country, you must use the Europass CV. I will give this Europass CV so that you can go through it easily. Later on, now how you can apply. And now already told you about the application process, but there are some exceptions I want to add. So this website, if you go to this website, you can see there are some higher education degrees, and there are bachelor's degrees and master's degrees. Now, you can just click this bachelor degrees, and here is the list of bachelor's degrees, list of bachelor's program, and also the master's program. Now, from here, you just write what type of degree you are searching. Suppose I was searching the computer science program, so I can look through here. And you have to select this program, master's degree, also the English program. Now, this is the computer science program. And if you click this, you will transfer to this website. This is another new tab, but it doesn't show everything. So what I will suggest, just visit the university website. Here I have visited the university website, and then applying to the master's program. When you can apply, this thing is strictly written here that it starts from the 1st December to 2nd January 2023. So I will suggest you just look for programs from the November and to January, because some university takes the students from November and they closes the university application process at the end of December. So at the beginning of November, you should look for this website that you can apply. Now, here are some of the things you need to read. Later on, that you need to look for the application language requirement. So in the language requirement, the master's admission, you can see that you need this language test, which is mandatory. No other method of demonstration English language skill other than this will be accepted. You can see it is the IELTS academic what you need. So many university does not accept the medium of instruction. So you have to check those things. Later on, your document verification. This is another important task. And this document verifications, just need to check. And it depends on the country specific documents. You need to check for that too. Now, here is the country-specific requirement for the academic purpose. So I'm just looking to the academic. It is from the Aalto University. To certify documents after admission results, you need to verify those things. And it's better if you do it before the admission test. It will be more easier for you. Now, if I think people from the Ghana, you can see they have a specific criteria that your official transcript must be verified. And how you can verify it is a photocopy of your transcript, and it will be attested by the controller, also the dean of your department. Then it will be verified. So go through this. You don't need to submit your original document. This document must be photocopied, and it will be verified by your university. And then your university should have an envelope. In that envelope, you need to post those certificates into the institute. Another important thing, that envelope must be sealed with the awarding institute. So without doing this, you won't be accepted in any university. You should remember this. You should go through each of the university, what they are taking. Also, people from Nigeria, they also have this specific requirement. So I will suggest that you should go through this. Otherwise, after the application select, you won't be selected. Now, as a Finland scholarship, Anna already told about the Finland scholarship, but I want to add another scholarship to you. It is especially for the African people. This is the Mastercard Foundation Scholarship. Mastercard Foundation Scholarship. This is especially for the African people. And this covers the living expense. So I will suggest you also look for this Mastercard scholarship. And I have added this link here. This scholarship will provide you for the living. At this moment, some of the courses are providing 100% scholarship and some of 70%. But if you get 70% scholarship, also this Mastercard scholarship, your life in the Finland will be easier. That's why I'm suggesting you go through the Mastercard scholarship. And lastly, for the work, as a student, you can work 30 hours per week, which Anga already told. So there are many jobs here. And if you have a driving license, you work in the food delivery, which is more beneficial than the other jobs. Then you can also work for the postie. And this is a paper delivery job. Some people work in the hospital related jobs. But in Finland, if you know about the Finnish language, then it will be more helpful to you, because most of the Finnish people love to speak the Finnish language and they want to communicate. And there is a great opportunity to learn Finnish from the university. The university is providing Finnish language throughout the semesters. So if you want to come to Finland, you also have to learn the language. And that was all from me.
Wow, that was great.
Thank you, but I think there is some echo.
Right? Yeah, there is an echo. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know. I think it's okay now, right?
Someone is unmuted. Yeah, now I have just muted it.
Okay. All right, that was a great presentation. Do you have any question? Does anyone have a question for Mohammed?
Yeah, I think I found. Please, can I got the copy of what is postie? This is the postal service. In the Finland, we call postie is a postal service, and there are few jobs for the people. You can deliver papers, also the envelopes, these things through the postie.
Yes. Yeah, so those are companies in Finland. Posti is like Ghana Post or the postal service in Nigeria or something like that. So students can have jobs in the postal service in Finland, and of course, food delivery, and we also have hospital jobs for people that have nursing skills or something like that. And of course, there are other jobs like berry picking as well for students. So that is that. And like Anna said earlier on, and Mohammed has also mentioned it, there are 30 hours a week for students to work